Okay, we should be live. Switch to live chat on the YouTube thing. Good late afternoon. Making sure everything is working. Alright, so, by the way, there will be a tiny moment where my food should finally be delivered. I was supposed to eat before the stream, but I guess DoorDash doesn't like me. So that's something. I'll have to be a little gentle, but so there's hello to everybody. Garima, A22, Emo Josh, Alex, Zen, Opie, Nom. Now, the last few days have been a shit show, and I was going to make a video on one part of this, which is the first part we'll talk about, which is YouTube pulling a fucky wucky, as Ichi would put it. There is so much shit going on that I genuinely wish I had. Oh fuck! I wish I'd actually set this up proper. Hang on. Fucking YouTube or fucking Chrome. I watched this live stream and damn, the live stream was really good. We'll talk about that in a bit. I'm trying to find. Here we go. So, a couple days ago, a ton of... hey, yes, I watched the whole thing, and I fucking loved it. Shiloh killed it. But, we're going to talk about YouTube and some YouTube problems first, because I want to talk about this shit, because it pisses me off, and I was going to do a video. Hey, Doodle Dick McGinty. So, now, this is from my YouTube creator, Mr. Mediker, who used to put a lot of videos on YouTube, but YouTube either striked or claimed a couple of his videos, which were nonsense. And he got demonetized completely. His channel got demonetized. Now, he streamed on his... That's fucking bright. He streamed on his channel a lot, and so something to a lot of different creators recently happened. Which, as you can see there, it says their channel was ineligible for monetization and for reused content. Now, there's a difference between reusing content and criticizing, which he criticized a lot of different creators, a lot of different things. So this was completely bullshit. I did just start, Christy. So this whole thing happened, and it wasn't just Mediker. It was oh Christ! If I don't boomer this up, is it a really stream for me? Hang on. My stream deck is not wanting to work. That's great. So the same day, so that in November 2019, I boomered it up. So yeah, this happened to James Charles completely got terminated for a little bit. So that fucking happened. FaZe Rug's channel got terminated on the same day as all of this shit was happening. We're switching back to this really quick. You're good. Wildcat taken down. Another big YouTuber. Verified on fucking Twitter. Yeah, well, this was temporary. They got reinstated, but James Charles was terminated. Like, straight up fucking terminated. And then another YouTuber, LS Mark, who I've seen some of his videos, pretty good content, completely demonetized. A whole ton of creators on different spectrums of the internet have been completely demonetized for such a bullshit claim, which is the fact they reuse content. In fact, actually, and this relates to something later in the stream we're going to talk about, because I planned this properly. Or, fuck, I thought I did. Hang on, sorry. Here we go. I can plan streams. What are you talking about? Window capture. So, yeah. YouTube even demonetized Chris Hansen's channel completely.
YouTube in general, and specifically relating to Have a Seat with Chris Hansen in our previous YouTube channel. We still have it, but we do this show here now called Hansen versus.
Hey, Jess.
Can't say the word because apparently it's one of the banned words by YouTube. If you've been following all this, YouTube apparently now has a giant list of words, and if you use too many of them on your YouTube channel, you'll be sanctioned, meaning you're demonetized, and many YouTubers depend on those ad dollars to put their shows on. Us, not so much. We're going to do this regardless, but it points out and raises some questions that I can't answer, and maybe some of you guys out there can, but I've reached out to the CEO of YouTube, Susan Wojcicki, asking for an interview on why would alleged predators be allowed to still be on YouTube doing their shows, coaxing all kinds of people into doing who knows what, where a channel like Have a Seat with Chris Hansen can't get monetized and is sanctioned for what? This last letter we got from YouTube says that we were reusing content. The only thing on this channel is this show, which is new, unique, and exclusive to this channel every Wednesday night. And then it said something, a letter about other channels reusing content, this content, rebroadcasting our show. Well, I have no control over that. So I think at some point, you all need to reach out to YouTube and start asking these questions. Why are legitimate content creators on YouTube being sanctioned for using words as run-of-the-mill as predator, the 42nd president, the state of Alabama, all amongst hundreds of words that are loaded somehow into an algorithm in YouTube. And if you use too many of them, they sanction you. Doesn't make sense to me. So I'm going to stop ranting about that. But you guys do as you see fit by asking these questions of YouTube. And I'm going to continue to ask those questions as well, because at some point, why are we on YouTube? I could take this show to Hansen versus Predator, the website, and y'all can watch it there. And it's a subscription website, but I'll slash the price down to pennies a month. I don't care. I just want to do what's right. My whole goal here, and it has been for 38 years now as a reporter, is to get inside the mind of a criminal, understand how a predator thinks and works, hear the voice of the victim, and perhaps, just perhaps, prevent other people from becoming victims. And that's what this is all about. So, enough said.
Now, okay, as you heard him there, YouTube fucking took his monetization over supposed reused content. What the fuck is YouTube doing? I know I'm not going to be making any friends at YouTube HQ by saying this, but they need some sort of competition. They need somebody lighting a fire under their goddamn ass over all of this shit. There used to be VidMe, but VidMe is fucking dead. Vimeo is nowhere near, I'd say, as relevant as YouTube. Yeah, there's only a few other websites that I can say maybe, you know, something similar could work on. But actually, my DoorDash thing is here. I will be right back, folks. One second. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I never said I wasn't a boomer, although I don't know if that guy's getting a good review, because, seriously, 20 minutes after it was supposed to be here. Christ. That's why you don't buy local. Okay, sorry about that. I've had Pizza Hut deliveries that are faster. So, Chinese? No, it's from a steakhouse. Okay, so the only real competition, which I do have an account there, so if you do want to follow it, I mean, I'm going to recommend you do, because, hey, it's me, is, oh god, I just forgot the name of it. Fuck me, hang on. This stream is held together with duct tape. Hang on. BitChute. I have an account on BitChute. It's under the same account name. As a smaller content creator, and by small I mean I literally have less than 50 subs. This terrifies me for my future. I make music and meme videos. If it's going to be too controversial, well, funny you say the word meme videos and controversial, because well, where's it at? Here we go. Speaking of meme videos, BitChute. But yes, YouTube also took down Filthy Frank's vomit cake video, which, if we go here, is it reinstated? Nope, this video has been removed for violating YouTube's policy on violent or graphic content. Vomit cake, you know, say what you will, it's a gross out video, but it's not like a Jackass has made worse content, I think, than vomit cake, and YouTube has removed it. It is only a matter of time, but before essentially anything controversial, anything edgy, anything even slightly leaning in a way that doesn't, you know, bode well to family-friendly content for YouTube is fucked. I hate to say it like this, and I don't want to sound like I'm fear-mongering or anything, but 10 years from now, YouTube will look like a goddamn clean, serene... It will be sanitized to the point where today is unrecognizable in ways that we've never seen on any other platform. You can bitch about Facebook banning, you know, old people's posts and shit. You could bitch about Twitter and all that. 10 years from today, the YouTube that we see now will be gone. And not even a trace of it will be around. And that is something that terrifies the ever-loving fuck out of me. If you have a creator that you guys like, download their videos. After you watch them, you know, talk about them, but download them and have them on a folder on, like, your computer or something. There are so many channels, so many videos over the years that are lost because of stuff like that. And it is only a matter of time before the entirety of Filthy Frank is gone. The entirety of fuck iDubbbz, every content creator that has had a slightly edgy past, it will be a short future for them, I feel. I even feel for my content, it is going to be a short future with the way YouTube has done shit like this. And it is only a matter of time. It's not an if, but a when. And unless you're a Ryan's Toys Reviews, or somebody who's not, you know, somebody who's not teetering that line, you'll be fine. This shit right here is something you could not have told me would have ever happened like 5 years ago or so. It is horrifying. And I don't like starting streams like this. I don't like being, you know, the kind of person who says, I don't want to sound like Chicken Little, essentially. I don't want to say the sky is falling. I want to say the sky is still there, everything's just falling around it. And sadly, YouTube is the only site as big as it is, because It's owned by the biggest company in the fucking world. It really is. It is owned by a company that will be around long after we're gone, and will be long-term company. But I recommend to anybody who's wins a face reveal, 100,000 on any platform, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. What happened? Oh, I'm talking about how horrifying YouTube has been in the last last little bit, because one, a quick catch up for everybody. If I could remember. Oh, hang on, I'm dumb. It would help if I remembered that it opened in a new tab. YouTube took down a whole bunch of creators, monetizations, terminated a few creators, temporarily, mind you, and then took down the Vomit Cake video by Filthy Frank. Yeah, they took Medicare's monetization, ton of others. Hey, Marcy. I'm talking doom and gloom right now. It'll be probably doom and gloom this whole stream, because we're talking about the Chris Hansen interview soon. It's almost been one full day since I took down the video, and I'm every account for creators you like, the day is numbered. I think it's not a matter of if, but when. And I recommend, I need to start a new adpocalypse. This isn't just an adpocalypse. This is a creatorpocalypse. This is every single person that might have a slightly edgy opinion, might tell a dark joke. This is now essentially your balls are on a chopping block, and it's just YouTube's waiting to take the hatchet down. Sound like Jughead from Riverdale. I have not seen that show yet. I've been meaning to. Of course, I've got an account on BitChute. I feel like it's the only place where anybody, there's people on the left and on the right in there. It's obviously got a lot more political right, because it's been banned from YouTube mostly. But I feel like it's the kind of site that that's pretty much what we need right now. We need competition. That's been setting Cuck DeFranco. It's flagged for being too edgy. I don't know how people like Phil can do it with the constant demonetization. The only video that I've had that I've put a ton of time and effort into recently that's been monetized and not claimed to monetize has been the Cole Kerrigan one, and that only a fraction of people saw it because YouTube didn't push it out. I think, especially for creators that I feel are a little edgier than most, you pretty much have to expand, because YouTube kills your fucking channel. It really can. It sound old, but the internet is so corporate nowadays, it's depressing. Some websites are more creator oriented. Here's the thing, that could work hand in hand. That a good corporation can help creators. And in YouTube, I'll say this, YouTube puts a lot of effort into fostering it really easy for creators to put things out, but YouTube does a piss poor job of pushing your content out to your subscribers. There are people that I'm a big fan of, people that I watch anything they put out, where now I pretty much have to go on Twitter and turn on notifications, because I'll get notifications for tweets, but I won't get notifications for a single fucking video on YouTube. And that's disappointing. Onion boy, onion. I'm gonna figure out a code name for Vagrug. Vagrug, that one works. Fuck. There's a lot you can't talk about on YouTube, say on YouTube. Nerd City did an amazing video on it recently, and I need to pull up. It's not gonna autoplay. this the video? This is a video. There is an entire spreadsheet of demonetized words. And I will pull it up here in 1 second. But we're gonna get into the Onision stuff in a minute here, because I know it's well the Chris Hansen stuff. But we're gonna get into that in a minute. But we'll go through here. There is an entire list. Or like yellow is demonetized, green is monetized. And you'll see like 420 is not monetized. Obviously that's like weed, you know. 666, 777, those are monetized. 2 girls, 1 cup is monetized. 1 lunatic, 1 ice pick. Which, if you don't know what that's about, don't look into it. You know, Me Too is demonetized. Even you have stuff like 1488. If you know if you understand the terminology and why that's used, that's understandable why that's demonetized. I can get that. 9/11, I can get that. 69 should not be demonetized. Just got here. What did I miss? Oh, I was doom and gloom about how eventually 10 years from now YouTube will be completely different in a sanitized landscape if things don't change. And how YouTube is basically fucking over every single creator under the sun. But yeah, so some of these, like, it's weird how, like, some of these are monetized. So, like, so some of these will be, like, abuse is demonetized. Obviously, that makes sense. Abuser is demonetized. I don't think these should be demonetized, because you could be talking about someone who is doing something awful and getting the word out. Abortion and abortions are demonetized. Accused or accused, those are demonetized. Anything that you can use to call out someone, like Me Too up here, which I don't get why that's demonetized. Adolf and Adolf Hitler are demonetized, obviously. but let's look at the consistency here. Adult, demonetized. Adult baby, monetized. Adult diaper and diapers are demonetized. So 2 of those could be helpful searches. What are we looking at? We are looking at YouTube's demonetized list. So if you have like an issue and you want to look into, you know, like adult diapers because you have a problem, if you try to make a video about that, you're fucked. Same with adults. Adults are demonetizable. Is butts demonetized? Afghanistan is demonetized as well. AIDS. I'm sorry. Al-Qaeda and a misspelling of Al-Qaeda. Alcoholic. But alcoholics is monetized. What the fuck? Allegation or allegations, but alleged is still good. Remember that, folks. Alleged. Allocation is one of the ones that has an asterisk, which means it could or couldn't. Amanda Todd, understandable. American Idiot, monetized. American Idol, monetized. American Nazi Party, demonetized. Oh, okay. Anal, demonetized. I get it. Anal Impaler, I get it. Anal sex, I get it. But these 2 are actual things you could research and something that could be important to help people. Who's Amanda Todd? She's the girl who made the video with the cards and then she committed suicide. Yeah, anal cancer and anal leakage. These are 2 things that seriously could be something you need to look up. Something serious. Is Gunter Coochie demonetized? We'll get there. Anorexia, I get that. Antifa's demonetized. I guess with the American Nazi Party demonetized, both. Anus demonetized. Check the names of people on the internet spheres like Medicare or Gamergate. I don't know if people who did that did this. But by the way, ape shit is not demonetized. Go nuts. Armed robbery and Armenian genocide. Why is arthritis? Why is arthritis on the demonetized list? Ass stuff like at cash sign were all green. Ass fuck, asshole, ass fucker, assaulted. There's so many weird things. Some of them work, some of them doesn't. To tell you what, we're gonna jump all the way to Onision because I want to see diarrhea. That one is demonetized, but not this weird misspelling of diarrhea. A lot of dicks and dyes and dildos. Dilf is not demonetized. Dipshit. Dirty Sanchez is demonetized. This is a scattershot approach to demonetization. Diverticulitis isn't demonetized. Dog fucker. I can't make another video about Woody, Wisconsin. Dominatrix. Demonstration. Douchebag. Yeah. I'm seriously confused on. I will link this really quick here. Yeah. Okay. I will share this because this is a clusterfuck on just. Eat a dick and eat my ass are demonetized. But we're gonna just really quickly. I want to see if Onision is demonetized or monetized. What the fuck? Hang on. There was one that was like the whole thing was. Oh god. I am in debt for a lot of this. Yeah. Motherfucker is demonetized, but motherfuck is not. Motherfuckers with an S is, but fuckers with a Z is not. But what the fuck? By the way, I saw as I was scrolling through, they had like Las Vegas shooting and all that. But both Mr. Mr. Anime, it is somehow monetized. Which, if you don't know the history of Mr. Anime, it's pretty fucking bad. It's some fucked up shit. That's monetized? Jesus. Oh, okay. We are. Oh, in. Both Onision and Onision Speaks are monetized. Jesus. Muff Diver is monetized. But yeah, both Onision and Onision Speaks are monetized. What fresh hell? And my steak's starting to get cold. Elliot Roger. Ooh, that's a good one, actually. They don't have. They didn't try Elliot Roger, it seems. There is so... YouTube is fucking strange. Barbara Streisand? No, she'll just sue your ass until, Oh. Oh, okay, I was like, hang on. Well, okay, Barbara isn't demonetized. So... Basic bitch is... Bare naked, barely legal. Those make sense. I get that. Bang bros, bang bus, banged. Those are banned. I can understand that. Any variation of cunt is monetized except for word cunt itself. Ball kicking is monetized, but ball licking is not. So I know what you can do for some YouTube videos. You want to make some ad revenue. Oh Christ. So yes, my 30-minute rant of how YouTube is fucked and how it's just a matter of time that we're essentially all boned. It's pretty much done. I don't have too much to add to that. So I figure, really quick before we go into the Chris Hansen stuff, because I got some time I can fill. I want to talk about the state of a channel right now. So, hey, let's talk about it. So, Monday I started a new job, and that's also why there hasn't been a new video, and I've been working on that. The job is a lot of work. However, don't think I'm done with the channel. Don't think I'm like, oh, channel's over or some shit. Don't worry. I'm gonna start streaming 3 days a week, and then I'm gonna start working on videos 3 to 4 days a week. So they won't be like one a week, but there's going to be like, you know, videos over time. I want to put effort into it, but I don't have enough time. So I have to kind of like spread out my work. However, there's going to be one live stream on YouTube itself. So like we'll do one like this. Then one where I'm streaming on both Twitch and YouTube, because I'm going to use Restream. So I'll be streaming on both platforms. Gonna try that. And then the third day will only be on Twitch. So I'll work out the days that I'm going to do that. Probably tomorrow I'm going to do both, because Death Stranding will be out. And once I install that on my PS4 when I get home, we'll be doing that. So that's tomorrow. And I'll probably put like I'll probably put out an announcement earlier than, you know, earlier than I usually do, because I always take fucking forever to do that. I miss your live streams. I miss doing them too. I actually miss streaming, and it's been so fun to get back to it. I also won't like. I'm gonna take my time with videos. The next one is, I'll announce the next one is on Real Stream News, because that dude is a fucking nut from everything I've seen so far. So I'm working on a video. It's not gonna be in like the main series. It's just gonna be like a hey, Real Stream News. It's probably gonna be the title. Yes, Apocalypse UPS Man Simulator's out. It fucking is, and it looks amazing. So that's tomorrow. The Real Stream News video should be out sometime next week. I'm still in like the research phase. I'm also trying to figure out how to use iMovie, so I can actually properly like do it on the go, because I cannot afford what is that fucking application? Final Cut. I can't afford it yet, but I'll be buying that with one of the paychecks soon. So, didn't Real Stream literally admit to assaulting his girlfriend? I don't know if it was his girlfriend, but it was somebody. So that's the state of a channel. I figured I'd knock that out in about like 4 to 5 minutes. Oh yeah, actually, I forgot this in my YouTube thing, because I'm also a fucking moron, and I forgot to mention this as well. The past couple days, a ton of creators have been getting claimed by a famous, well, okay, famous for some reason. I've watched his videos before, and I've watched his fight with Logan Paul, and it was literally just a, hey, till next time fight, so fuck it. I figure I'll give KSI some shit, because, you know, fuck him, fuck Logan Paul. Fuck his brother, fuck Logan Paul's brother. They're both shitty. But I wanted to mention this video from a creator, Mitra00. There's been some other creators talking about it. One just put up a video, but I don't want to take her content and take too long also with this. So Amanda the Jedi also talked about it, and her video is great about it, so... Can I just not fuck either of them? I mean, like, fuck them proverbially. But we're gonna watch this together here.
It's in the middle of the night, I am tired, and I am pissed. This dude, with 7 million subscribers, Kissio Olaji Det HD, is literally fucking stealing my videos.
But by the way, that's better than I can pronounce KSI's name on his channel. I can't. I can barely pronounce my own name, so...
I have gotten about 1 million copyright notifications from him right now, so all of my Mortal Kombat X is now monetized by said guy, by the guy with 7 million subscribers, because apparently he owns Mortal Kombat X, which is not true. It goes with the system that
That KSI's content is... I don't like it. It's not my kind of thing. And he's also got a history of just being an annoying, obnoxious prick, so...
YouTube has put in themselves, which is channel copyright matches. Now, interestingly enough, if you're the first one to play something... Not quite? Okay, you get assigned things fucking randomly.
Okay, that should have been...
I'm not the first one to play Back to the Future, but YouTube absolutely is sure that Back to the Future belongs to me. So I could be a complete ass right now. And look at this channel with 30,000 subscribers, right? It's a bigger channel than me. And request video removal or monetize their video. Why? Because somehow they think I own it.
So, if you also want to know how Onision claims his videos, this is how you do it. A lot of channels have this. Mine does not for some reason. This person has 3,000 subscribers. I've got like almost 15. YouTube won't give me this for some reason. I genuinely do not know why. It might be because I always switch back to the Creator Studio, because the original one, because the new one is fucking garbage. Especially if you try to live stream. That's a different story. But yes, if you want to see how YouTube creators get claimed by people like Onision, Onision will actually be able to see how much of the video you use of his and sees it. So yeah, that's something horrifyingly annoying. I just want you guys to think about that the next time a creator that you like gets claimed by Greg or other creators falsely. 99.9% of the time it's false. So claim or removed also. Sorry.
They believe that I own it, so I imagine that this is what has happened with this person as well. They're likely just cannot read, but it really pisses me off because it's not just me. It's not just me. He probably claimed a lot of people's Mortal Kombat. My husband says that he has Dead Space claims. That guy that has 7 million subscribers is going around taking money from small channels because why? Because he has the right to? Because YouTube has granted him permission? This is not right. It is not right that this is not gonna be heard. This is gonna be buried. It is not right that they're allowed to do this. Hence why I am making this video and I am pissed. I am pissed for I have nowhere to go and no one to complain at. What is a 3,000 subscriber channel gonna do against the 7 million one? what should I do? Hire a lawyer? Like, the shit that YouTube allows this, and the shit that you, mister, whoever you are, decide to be this abusive. Why? Just why?
I figured I'd be finished chewing this piece. Hang on. But yes, YouTube essentially gives creators, it is a good tool. It is an understandable tool, and it can be a useful tool. But the problem is, like with a lot of useful tools, how do I word this? I would have ate before, but DoorDash didn't bring it soon enough, and it's getting cold, and I might actually put it in the fridge. But YouTube gives a good tool, but it's a double-edged sword, because it's being used to essentially fucking hurt other content creators. Just got off work, what did I miss? For the last 40 minutes, I've been pretty much talking about how I feel YouTube is fucking over everybody content creator-wise, between demonetizing entire channels, removing videos. YouTube removed one of the greatest videos, Vomit Cake, from the Filthy Frank channel. Completely. Also, hey, Yosuke, and Two-Faced, and Rose, and Kaylee. But yeah, YouTube is fucking its creators over. I've been eating off and on, thank you. Not 40 minutes. But yes, essentially YouTube is fucking over everybody. And it doesn't matter what political spectrum you're on, it doesn't matter the kind of content you make. When even Chris Hansen is getting his entire channel demonetized, you know we're fucked. You know we are fucked. I thankfully am one of the channels that did not have this happen, but it's only a matter of time. Hey, Rye. I know serious Daddy Fuzz ASMR steak eating stream. I'll chew another piece. And you're gonna hear me talk while I eat. Oh, these fries are gonna be bad. It's cold. Okay, alright. But yes, so with that out of the way, YouTube essentially, as a quick recap, YouTube both needs competition, and there is competition out there. The only one that I'm currently on is BitChute. BitChute is a clunky mess of a website. It's held together with duct tape and sadness. And it's got people all over the place on different spectrums of like political opinions and weird shit. But it is genuinely as close as we have right now to a competitor to YouTube. And that's both sad, but also not surprising. Big companies don't want to try to take on YouTube, because YouTube, it's massive. There's a reason why it's massive, too. Phone died, what's going on? Well, talking about how YouTube's fucked, and we need to try to eventually find our footing someplace else one day. However, as we're wrapping up, talking about how much of a mess this shit is, I want to say one thing, just to inspire confidence. We are in the best time for creators right now, though. Seriously, compared to years ago, it is so easy to find content on YouTube and anywhere that it's so much better. And seeing smaller creators that struggled over like 10 years, boost up like Stop Skeletons for Fighting. Did a clip with Chris Hansen and Shiloh get taken down? It did not. That's a different thing. That's another creator who got claimed. But the Chris Hansen stuff's still good though. But yeah, we have so many creators that are moving up in the world, and hopefully we'll see more of them grow over time, but it's hard, especially with how YouTube just does not push it out to people. I'll take it easy, B. There will be a VOD, though. So, that segue on to Chris Hansen, being incredibly subtle as it was. Now, we're not going to watch the entire stream together. We're going to talk about certain parts and certain aspects. Steak came back up. Well, another bit of steak's going back down, so... I might have to oh, that was really, really fatty. Jesus, that wasn't even chewable. Sorry. I spent about 30 minutes, but before this stream, taking timestamps of parts I wanted to talk about and discuss and highlight. So we're going to skip to the first segment. I believe it is exactly 16 minutes. Alright, so it is right here. Entire stream broke my heart. One thing I want to say, this stream is very, very sad, and you can see it on Chris's face, and you can tell, like, it's even in that image that I just took right there with the screen cap. Chris looks like he's genuinely going to cry, and I do not blame him. The stream is not going to be funny after this point. The funniness was like 45 minutes ago to now. So it's going to get pretty serious, and I just want everyone to understand that if it's not your kind of thing, I don't blame you for leaving. I don't blame you for not watching. So we're going to get into that at the 16-minute time code. Right before 16. Oh yeah, it'd help if I...
No idea.
Oh, she found out. So while we were there, he actually had the police call.
Oh god, I'm a moron. Hang on. Leave. Well, if I... This stream would be amazing if I don't boomer it up. I'm sorry.
No time.
And he had come in from Washington State.
Fuck, it was before this.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Here we go.
But,
Here we go.
He informed me that the legal age in
Into
a little bit more.
himself, he made his way to PA. Before he made his way there, he had explained to me that we could get in a lot of trouble.
into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he explained to me we could get in a lot of trouble, and then he had to check the state laws before he came.
Because of your age.
Because he knew we were going to sleep together. That
Oh
we
shit.
had spoken about that. And so
Sorry.
when he did his research, he informed me that the legal age in Pennsylvania at the time was 16.
16. So he would not be breaking the law if, in fact, the two of you slept together and had relations.
Right. And I had just freshly turned 17. And so he made his way to PA. When he got there, he got his own hotel room. I can't remember why. I think it had to do with my mom. But good for her. But yeah, he stayed in a different hotel room. He got the hotel to let me in to his room. And when he showed up, he started kissing me immediately. And we slept together within like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, of him showing up. Like I opened up the door and he kissed me right away, and started touching me and stuff like that. And he put me on the bed within, like I had no even time to just say, "Oh my gosh, how was your trip? Like, are you jet lagged?"
Okay, so I want to bring up a couple points here. Now, I genuinely have never. I don't think 99% of people, when they're about to have sex with someone or they want to go have sex with someone, ever thought, I should check to see if the legal age to have sex with this person in the state is. I'm gonna move the chat up a little bit here. How the fuck does that ever cross your mind in any scenario? Like, You know, I should really Google the age of consent before I fuck this person. That is incredibly both disgusting and just like how do you ever get to that point? I don't get that. Oh, sorry. And then, like, for Greg also, he has no respect for her. The moment he comes into the fucking hotel room, he just pushes her on the bed and fucks her. Like, Jesus Christ, even people who like buy prostitutes, you know, for an hour, they still talk to them beforehand. 90% of them. How the fuck? No courtesy, no fucking anything. Just a like Thunderbirds Are Go style, just slamming into the bed and fucking. Incredibly disgusting.
Anything? No, no time.
And he had come in from Washington State.
Yes, Seattle.
Did this take you aback? Did you expect this to happen so quickly? So,
it took me back, but I went with it. I was feeling so many things at that point in time that I can't say that I wasn't scared. I was nervous, but not like, I think that I just thought that it was okay and that this was what was going to happen anyways.
so you were okay with it, albeit somewhat confused and emotional.
I was confused and emotional, but it was consensual.
And how did the relationship progress after this? Obviously, your mother had no idea.
Oh, she found out. So while we were there, he actually had the police called while we were there. Because
Your mother had the police called. There was an incident at
my
the
mother actually didn't. It was the hotel.
hotel. Did
Yeah. So
what led to this whole police activity?
he had camera equipment in the room. And
Wait. He shows up after this online relationship. You become intimate, and he has camera equipment.
yeah, he recorded everything that he did. He vlogged.
He recorded your intimacy.
No, that was never at that time. But that's what they thought. So that's why the police were called. His computer was checked for child pictures.
Pornography.
Yes. And then they left because there was nothing. They made me go home.
So yes, like any person, any sane person, or anybody, just in fucking general, would assume, in usually 99% of the time, rightfully, that somebody who's taking, you know, a camera in to fuck their 17-year-old, I guess at that point, rendezvous, I guess the best word. You know, 90% of people would rightfully assume, though, that, this person's taking photos of a kid they're about to fuck. And at the time, Shiloh was still legally a fucking child. How do you even get to that fucking point? I'm fucking baffled. It's impressive that I'm ever, like, this shocked by somebody. It's fucking shocking.
Back to Canada. And they made him go home back to Seattle.
What did he videotape, if anything, during that trip, during that visit?
Vlogs. This is the first time anybody ever heard my voice. Because I was in the background on his way when he crashed his car into a deer. Then he bought a ticket and he showed up on a plane. But he was vlogging that entire time. There wasn't a moment that man didn't have his camera equipment around.
And he was a pretty famous guy. Well, still is a famous guy in terms of streaming and being a YouTuber and all that. How did you leave it with him when he parted ways with you?
It was all very solemn, very sad. Oh, boo-hoo, you know, we're going to be away from each other, all of those things. But he assured me that he was going to get to Toronto as soon as possible. And he did.
Which is where you were living at the time. Now, was he actually divorced, or what was the situation with these papers?
You know what? This is all very new for me, this part, because Sky and I had not been in contact, obviously, throughout this whole time up until recently. And watching everything that she's posted, that those were bogus papers, as far as I know right now. But at the time, I had thought that they were legitimate.
Now, as shown before, because I believe the non-disclosure agreement, which I'm using air quotes, because the thing, one, would not hold up in court, and two, even if it did, it was signed under duress, so fucking could be thrown out immediately, that he made Sarah sign what was essentially just a, do you agree to not say bad thing about Onision? Oh yes, the Kai and Greg, Kai and Sarah had sex. Yeah, I believe the kid was in the bed or something. So yeah, there's no way that, from what I at least assume after seeing that fucking non-disclosure agreement. Wait, what? That was in Chris Hansen's stream with Sarah last, I believe. I recommend watching that. Can I clarify a point with that? I'd have to seriously go back and pull that up. I forgot what timestamp it was. But it was during the Onision and Sarah stream that happened like last week. I didn't stream it because I was like, holy shit, but also I was like, I can't stream too much from that. I recommend watching it though. It is a shit show. Is the stream still up? It is on Hansen's channel, which is Have a Seat with Chris Hansen. We're gonna actually skip ahead a little bit to another point, because I wanted to talk about the NDA, but I want to talk, I think... by the way, there's something... so somebody brought it up earlier, and I saw it, but I wanted to take the time to respond to it now, because why not? You can genuinely see, like, anger and hatred in Chris Hansen's face through this whole thing, and it genuinely looks like he's about to cry, and I cannot blame him. Really quick, I'm going to put my food in the fridge and play this clip, so I will be right back.
How did your personal relationship, your physical relationship with him intensify during this time?
It was all the time. It was from the very beginning. We had sex about 8 times a day sometimes. I was getting frequent UTIs and in pain a lot. I thought that was normal too. This was my first sex life per se. So I just thought, this is what's normal. This is how adults do things. He also had somehow found the time to masturbate in between those times, which was really confusing. I do believe that he's a sex addict, to be honest.
Was this about love, lust, or was it about control?
I think both. Not love, but definitely lust and control. I don't think he has a very good meter of controlling himself around a person.
Did he hurt you?
He was very aggressive, and like, I'm not one.
Okay. I'm a I'm a goddamn moron. Okay. Who is Chris Hansen? Chris Hansen is a famous journalist who was on Dateline NBC and also what was the head investigator for the To Catch a Predator stuff. We'll talk about that. I'm such a goddamn moron. I am so sorry. Let's ignore me boomering up the stream a little bit more. So yes, as someone who, everybody enjoys sex, right? There's nothing wrong with that, and sex is fine. But 8 times a day, and then still having enough to keep masturbating. Onision's sex drive is really fucked up. If that, if he does it that many times a day, that's well, you know what I mean. So, I forgot about asexual people. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. Like, a lot of people enjoy sex, and a lot of sex. That's a human thing. But it's you know what I mean. But 8 times a day, Jesus. That's and then still having enough to crank one out after. I don't know how he does it.
To kink shame at all, but at that time and at that age, how hard he was pulling my hair back, I could not breathe.
Hey, Caitlin, sorry.
Me the B word, calling me a slut, or while we were having sex. Very aggressive. Very aggressive.
Looking back, was
not much Iris
romantic at all about this, or was it him just using you in what can be only termed as a violent way?
I don't think that he has those feelings. I think I did for me, where I was and being convinced that he was the person that I was supposed to be with and such. I was giving real compassion. But what he was, no. I'm 26 now.
I want to respond. He lost his job in a lot of respect over some dumb bad check writing. He admitted the charges were dropped. That's why he's on YouTube and not on television anymore. Well, to be fair, also, I genuinely do feel he was getting screwed over by Crime Watch daily. So if you look into a lot of the people around them, Crime Watch Daily lost a lot of people too around the time Chris left. And the bad check writing, it's bad, and sorry for me opening a Dr. Pepper right now. It's bad, but on a scale of like crime level, I a few bounce checks to me is like nothing. It happens. I've had overdrafts, but I do think he's doing good work on YouTube. I mean, I've been watching some of the stuff lately since the Only Use Me Blade shit, because I made a video on that. But, is it bad? Yes, but I don't think it's like... I don't think he's a bad person for having written a few bad checks.
Now, and I know I'm not very old, but I have been in stable relationships at this point, and there's nothing normal about what he was doing. There was no, hey, sweetie, can we sit down and talk about what you like and what I like? It was, this is what he does, and you go with it.
Did he ask you, or did he try to derail your career?
He brought me as far away from it as he could.
In what way? How did he do this?
Well, we moved to Seattle first. We moved to Seattle the day before I turned 18. We were in the hotel waiting. Morning I turned 18, we were off to Seattle. And so that took me away from all of my network, really. As much as I can find my network in Seattle or Los Angeles or New York or wherever I am, it took me away from my management, my record label, my agents, everything, my security.
Did he try to isolate you?
Yeah, my phone wasn't my phone anymore. It was the phone that he got me. Me and my mom really weren't allowed to talk on the phone in front of him, or else I'd have to deal with him saying that it was weird or that we were way too close. And I went on 2 writing trips at that time. One of them he came along on, and one of them he didn't. And he made those hard the entire time. He made those difficult. Slowly,
what did he do on those trips, and what were you supposed to be doing on those trips?
I was writing for other people at that time, whilst also doing my own project. So essentially ghostwriting, I guess. He just sexualized everything.
Was there anything about this relationship where you did things other than bow to his sexual wishes? Did you guys go to movies? Did you go on regular dates? Was there...
I do want to pause it before this. So yeah, as you can tell, he genuinely... There's a pattern with people like, Greg, and it's something that if you do notice in someone in your life or in your family or anything, definitely try to get them help. But he was genuinely trying to isolate Shiloh, so she had no connection, no chance, and claiming that someone talking to their family and all that is weird and trying to shame them for that's fucking disgusting. And if people do that, shame the person that's trying to shame them for having a close connection to their family. I say this as someone who does not have a close connection with their family. I got a fuck ton of them, and I don't like all of them, but there's some that I like, and I would be, I feel like I'd be lesser for having them not around. Is this gaslighting? It is. Well, it's isolation, and I think gaslighting as well. Family scumbags. Not everybody's family's great, but I also don't feel like if someone has a great connection with their mom or their dad, that person isn't going to be around forever, and they want to share their life with them. That's not abnormal, and shaming someone for that is fucking disgusting. And it's especially if you're trying to get them away from them, that's fucked. And I know people that have done that to people in my family, and it's disappointing. I've had a relationship with abusive people before. Isolation is such a thing that ruins people. It's fucking disgusting. We're gonna continue for a couple more minutes here. Drink some ginger tea to help you cough. I might have to pick some up tomorrow, actually.
Conversation? Did he hang out in the studio?
All I have right now is Dr. Pepper.
Music and perform? Did he encourage you to be the best you could be in your profession?
He encouraged me to.
Oh, we're getting to that, Jasmine.
With him. But
it's all about promoting Onision.
Yeah, essentially. I can't say that he was ever like, stop doing music, but he made it so that I couldn't. So I guess that's a bigger win. He gave me not much of a choice. Eventually, I was not able to contact my management. I got dropped from my management.
I'm guessing that leads me to my next question. At some point, the management's going to say, "We're heads not in the game here."
Yeah, she's
this guy. Obviously, there's infatuation or control or something. We try to get her attention. We can't. We're washing our hands of Shiloh. Is that what happened?
Essentially. But I mean, it was a blessing in disguise, but that's a whole other story. But it was essentially that they dropped off from me because I wasn't providing. I wasn't giving out any work at all.
So you're what, 18, and suddenly you're washed up?
Yeah, I went from making thousands in my 3-month quarter that would come out to seeing it go to like $300.
You were you would tour. You were in concerts with other artists.
I was on the radio.
You're on the radio. You had record deals. Now you're just with Onision.
And I was just with him at his house, recording with him all the time, everything. And I mean, that house, I'm not sure if anybody's aware of this, but when I got there, there was nothing but a couch in the living room and a green screen with a bunch of lighting. The heating was rarely turned on. The kitchen was always an absolute disaster from the videos that he would do with food and such like that. There was a bed on the floor for a bedroom with a TV in there, and gaming systems. And then his office was like decked out with all of the cool stuff that he liked.
There was a point when he shaved your head.
Yes.
How did that come about?
At first, we did a
I'm still eating slightly,
video,
yes.
and I acted like they shaved my head while I was sleeping. I clearly wasn't sleeping. I slumped out of the car, but I wanted to look like Skrillex.
It's fries and chips for UK followers.
Video with Nathan Barnett at the time, and then shortly after that, when we were in LA when that happened, when we went back, he was having sex with me, and he told me, I want you to shave your head.
In the middle of this intimate moment.
In the middle of sex, yeah. And so he took me off into the bathroom.
I'm sorry.
And he shaved my head in the tub, and then continued to have sex with me.
That seems controlling.
I'm so. I shouldn't be laughing at the way Chris said it, but the way Chris said that was kind of funny to me. Oh god, I've got problems. He. The thing I genuinely love about Chris Hansen, especially during this stream, you can see it on his face, like how much he cares about this. But admittedly, it's ever since the To Catch a Predator episodes, sometimes the way he says certain words or certain things, it gets me every once in a while. I mean, like, I'm sorry. Hey, Sammy. Hey, Ichi.
Yeah, and then he made me do a lot of videos. Well, he tried. I think I only got one of them out. He made me do a lot of videos as bald characters, like The Last Airbender. He wanted me to do Lex Luthor. Exploited it.
It sounds like he got off on having you essentially end your career while he used you to promote his.
Oh, the ultimate submission. I gave him everything.
I mean, your singing is done.
Thank you, Ichi, for the $2.
You know, a shaved
Wowie.
head sidekick.
Yeah,
Right.
little psycho sidekick. That's definitely how it ended up being.
You had a medical seizure at one point during your relationship with him. Describe that and tell our people what he did while this was going on.
There was a point in time in which we were having sex, and afterwards he had taken me into the shower, and can't remember how it came about, but he had told me that he was into small-bodied Asian women, and that wasn't me, and that he couldn't pick me up while we were being intimate, so I had to lose weight, that I was clinically obese for my height. I'm 5 foot, and I think I was like 135 pounds. And so I had never felt that way before. And he left me crying, hyperventilating, actually, because I was very distraught. In the shower, he left me there. And things started to get really crazy. So like I felt all of these tingles in my face, and I'm really hyperventilating, and then I just kind of conked out in there. Now, in between the time of how I got from there to beside his desk, I'm not entirely sure. But that was a grand mal seizure from what I know. And it took memory from me. I woke up not knowing who he was. I had lost a good 3 years. And I've been having seizures ever since, to be really honest with you.
I get
Now, I brought it up when I first talked about the Shiloh videos. He didn't take her to a goddamn hospital. Yeah, I had some people when I made that video get really mad at me because, like, well, there's some people still to this day. I still see comments on my video. People like, "Oh, she's just faking it." It's like that video is like, especially in her eyes, you can fucking see it. It's hard to fake shit like that. And I think I brought it up in a stream before to where I said, if she's faking it, she deserved a goddamn Oscar for that. And I've stood behind that many, many times, that I genuinely thought that Shiloh seriously had a seizure. And he didn't take her to a goddamn hospital. How are you that fucking lazy, that incompetent, that you don't take someone who's having something that honestly that brain damage could have been genuinely fucking permanent, and someone that you claim that you love and care about in any fucking way, you just let sit there and you record them on a goddamn video and you put it out. There was no thought, no goddamn logic in that whole fucking thing. And when I first saw that, because I saw that video years ago, like, somebody posted to 4chan. I browsed back. I still browse every once in a while, but I browsed then, and I saw that video, and people were genuinely like, "Why the fuck would you upload this?" I'm fucking. That disturbs me to the shit. And you can see it on Chris's face. He does not understand either. It's fucking baffling.
Get this right, that he videoed the seizure?
He did.
And what did he do with it?
He put it on YouTube.
He put it on YouTube.
Yeah, he put it on YouTube.
Oh, really quick. No offense to Sarah, nothing respect for, but why do some people have to wait to their own negative experience of Onision? It's kind of, well, a lot of this shit was out back in the past, you know? A lot of this shit was known, but it's kind of a cascading event. It's like a lot of the Me Too stuff that happened. You like, some people don't. I've gotten flack for saying that I believe people should, you know, if something happens to them, they should report it, because a lot of people, it takes time for it to essentially start as like a cascading thing. Like, one thing starts and then it tips everything into like a landslide. And how do I word this? Like, I think Sarah, one, understood that, because people were worried about Sarah back in the day, like when she first moved in. People were definitely more, I guess after like all the Shiloh stuff, people were more like, there has to be something up. There has to be something up. And finally, it was this grand, like a Jenga tower, essentially. Like, when one piece is pulled, yeah, the tower teeters. When too many pieces are pulled in one direction, it all comes tumbling down. And that's what I think happened with Sarah. Sarah was that last piece that finally popped and the whole thing came down. And plus, a lot of the women didn't talk with each other beforehand, like or after the events of everything. Like Shiloh didn't talk with Sky until just recently because all of the stuff that happened. So it's pretty much everything, like all coming to a head. That makes sense. Yeah, Sarah didn't even know about Shiloh's story. Yeah, a lot of this shit. It just needed time. It genuinely just needed time to cascade. We're gonna keep playing a little bit more here.
YouTube, I guess asking people for advice. I remember.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. the Jeffrey Epstein comment. If there's one place Greg would feel safe, it is on Jeffrey Epstein's island. I need to get some water. Well, coughing and laughing at the same time. But yes, Jeffrey Epstein, a man who did not kill himself, once Greg on his island, and that's the only place really he should be. Left on an island alone, mind you.
I remember being in the very hazy states afterwards and him asking me, you know, is this okay if I put it online so we could help people with this?
Help people?
Yeah.
Who was he actually helping? When he did
I'm
that?
not quite sure, himself, I think. But I went with it.
How bad did it get in the time you lived with him?
When I explain it to other people, it's like a horror movie to them. I've explained it to therapists and actually gone back to them and had them say, hey, I'm really sorry. I had to Google you because I didn't believe this.
Yes, Andy.
It got to a point where I was being locked outside of the bedroom or the bathroom while he was masturbating. I'd be crying next to him in bed at night, and he would snap at me and lock me outside the bedroom to sleep in the hallway. A lot of breaking up and getting back together while I'm in the house and like kind of playing with if I know if he cares about me or not. There's a lot. So I feel my brain kind of going through all the files of what happened there. Everything was recorded. Everything. And if something happened between us, his fans would come after me even while we were together. There was times when I would take off out of the house because I wanted out so bad. And I wouldn't get very far, to be honest. I had no resources to really help me.
Why didn't you just leave, Shiloh? You had some money, right? Or was it all gone at this point?
I kept thinking, my loyalty is really strong. And I kept thinking, what if he's just not himself right now? And, you know, what if I just don't understand? Or what if I'm the one that is in the wrong? What if this is my fault? Because everything was turned around to be a problem with me. I was the cause for everything. There was no, Greg did something wrong. And so I believe I stayed because I thought I loved him.
How long did this go on, Shiloh?
2 years.
2 years. And what toll did those 2 years take on your life?
I'm pretty agoraphobic at this point. Getting over that. I not only took a mental toll, but there was no way of me getting back on the internet or safely without being completely attacked after everything.
So wait a minute. So I understand this, and so everybody watching understands. You were the one victimized here, yet to Onision's followers, you were the bad guy. You were attacked.
Oh, he smeared me as much as he possibly could. There was it was the first breakup. He smeared me a little bit and then brought me back. And then the last breakup, he went in. But there's a lot in between that. But he sent a good bit of people after me. I woke up the next morning from him sending out his like final goodbye to me online, and I had about 1,500 that I got through. And I'd say about 80% of those were telling me to kill myself. And that
Kill yourself. These are 1,500 reaches, contacts on social media telling you, many of them, to kill yourself.
And that's before I shut the account down. I can't.
Now, that imagine, because there's a lot of people that, you know, on a small, like I'd say far smaller scale than Onision, that do this kind of shit. Greg purposely knew that his fans, who you know, a lot of them at the time, especially, were much younger, more, I guess you could say, like, riled up. They were kind of annoying from what I've seen. Like, riled up, energetic fans who, you know, only saw things through essentially what Greg was putting out there, what he was purposely putting out there. With all of the shit in his past that essentially just targeted her. Which is fucked up. That is incredibly fucked up. Because Chris, like, nah, Jesus Christ, I saw the word Chris on my screen. Greg essentially knew that his fans were rabid, that, you know, they were edgy teenagers and young girls who, but both of them relatively, what's the word I'm looking for here? He relatively knew what was happening. He knew what was going to happen. Oh, we're going to get to that one, Jasmine. Don't worry. The thing with Kai is I don't know what is him, Greg. This Kai. Okay, Kai. All right, I can describe this for you, Tally. So, Kai is like Kai is Lainey. Lainey transitioned into a male to female, like female to male. I'm bad with all this. I'm bad with everything. Female to male, trans man. So Kai is a man. Is Kai bi? I mean, technically. How much of who Kai is actually Greg's influence? I'm gonna say 80, 90%. I know the transition story, but was any of it his choice? Without knowing the private life, I don't feel like I'd be good with speculating on that one. I'm gonna say probably most likely Kai's choice. Again, without knowing anything of a private life, there's not too much there that I can like reasonably speculate on. If that makes sense. Kai is a shithead. Kai's a shithead. Kai also cries way too fucking much, and Greg, Greg always defends Kai in all these emails and shit, which just makes Kai look more guilty. It's a double-edged sword.
Can't even imagine what happened over the last 10 years.
Did you ever get pregnant during this relationship?
I did.
And what happened?
I had gotten pregnant while we were in Seattle. This was after the first breakup. And I wanted a natural birth. So we went to a midwife. Blood tests done. Ultrasound done. Everything was looking good. Went home, went in for our next checkup, and There was no heartbeat.
No. I
And
I really do want to warn everyone here. This is about to be pretty dark, and you can see in Chris's eyes, especially. So if you guys are relatively sensitive to miscarriages and stuff, I genuinely do recommend skipping this part, because this was hard even on me. Yeah, this was fucking sad.
so, and I mean, in between that time, I was under a lot of stress. I was crying every night, you know, dealing with sleeping in the hallway.
So the abuse did not stop, even though Onision, Greg, knew you were pregnant with his child.
No. It was almost worse.
Was he in favor of having the baby, or did he try to get you to terminate the
I
pregnancy?
wanted it so bad. The first thing he ever said to me when he met me in that hotel room in PA was, "I can't wait to get you pregnant." He was for it.
So, take it easy, Kay. So, someone, I wasn't there trying to be fair, but the guy is just as much of a man as he needs as a woman. I mean, I can't say anything. He wanted her to have a kid so he could use her trapper since the beginning. Hell, it's the first thing he told her. Yeah. But the first thing that he said straight up to Shiloh is that I want to get you pregnant. Now, I understand people having the fantasy of that, and obviously, in a role-playing scenario, that's fine. That makes sense if you're role-playing something. But the first thing you say when you meet someone, to their face, like, you're meeting them face-to-face, is that you want to get them pregnant. And genuinely mean it. What the fuck? What the fuck? She's like 16 and you haven't even said hi. Yeah, walks into the door, kisses her, grabs on her and shit, and the first thing, not even like, oh, I'm glad to meet you or anything, is, God damn, I want to get you fucking pregnant. Why are you like this? I'm sorry. I wanted to add a little bit of levity to the really fucked situation that this is, and I'm just baffled by how one man can be such a fucking scumbag.
There was never a question otherwise. He wanted it. I don't think I really had much of a choice there, because there wasn't ever really a discussion. It was just like, oh my God, we're having a baby. Wow.
It's safe to say Greg's a man-ho? Yes.
Yet he treated you poorly after this.
Yeah.
And yep, Kaylee's right with that.
So we get that ultrasound. No heartbeat comes back. He made a video, obviously, announcing it to everybody. Now, when the midwife, I'm still 18 at this point. So when the midwife sent me home, she says, you know, I'm going to follow up with you and all your blood tests and everything. We're going to make sure you're all right. If you see anything pass, that's a good thing. That means your body is doing this naturally. Be prepared.
Meaning a miscarriage.
Yes. Nothing passed. I didn't bleed. There was no show of anything. I didn't really understand what this meant.
You were 18 at the time.
Yeah. She got back to me and told me that if I didn't get help immediately, that this was going to be really bad. And I was at this point at what would normally be 14 weeks to 16 weeks approximate gestation, when the baby had actually died at 5 weeks. And so she informed me that I could go extremely septic if I didn't get help. I Googled sepsis, or I Googled septic infections, or I can't remember what I Googled, but it came up as sepsis for me. So Greg released a video called Shiloh Has Sepsis. I went off to Canada.
Did you ever think one moment to take you to the emergency room or to the hospital instead of making a video?
No, he straight up told me he wasn't going to pay for the health care.
He wasn't going to pay for the health care.
No. He was
So
really
you're in danger.
for the whole pregnancy. and the $5,000 a month that it would cost to have a midwife, but not to have an emergency team.
So he wanted you to pay for that?
I didn't have any money. I was only making the money from the YouTube channel that I started with him.
So he's all about making the video about this miscarriage and your sepsis.
Yeah.
But didn't take you to the hospital to deal with it.
No.
What kind of a person does that, Shiloh?
Same person that doesn't take you to the hospital when you're having a grand mal seizure on their floor, but instead
And makes a video and puts it on YouTube.
Yeah.
That right there, both of these fucking things, honest to God, should have killed Greg's channel. This whole, like, Shiloh genuinely got the, I think, the worst of any person that Greg has talked to. Genuinely, the fucking worst. Yeah, one, it's impressive. Well, person, not a not a turtle. He genuinely didn't care about Shiloh in any way other than using and abusing her. There's no denying any of that. Greg pretty much wanted Shiloh for something that, this is gonna sound harsh the way I say it like this, but Greg wanted to essentially use Shiloh as a sex toy. Take it easy. I like I said before, I don't blame anybody if they want to leave because this shit is horrifyingly heavy. Greg only wanted Shiloh for one thing. And if it wasn't obvious then, it is 2020 fucking hindsight now, and it's horrifying. YouTube, Onision is fine, Monkey Jones is awful, ban. The Mumpke thing was a whole fucking shit show. I actually want to do a video about all of that. The sex doll he got was specifically what he wanted her to be, especially when he's body shaming her. Yeah. Which, Julia also had a hard life, but in a different way. The whole Julia... The fact that a grown man decided, hey, I'm going to start a Patreon for my sex doll, it is more pathetic than anything I've read on an incel forum ever in my life. I've read some of those incel forums, and I've laughed at things where it's like, how are you this fucking delusional? Have you heard of a channel called Hiding in My Room? I have. I need to do a video on him one day. Isn't he making another book? Oh yes, we'll talk about that at the end. I will read that at the end.
What's the single worst thing he did to you?
Single worst? Meet me.
From the get-go.
Yeah, seriously, all of it. The body shaming. The body shaming is probably what stuck with me the most.
What does it say about his ability to manipulate when he can do this to someone who actually has a life, has a career, has success, has fame, has fortune, and yet he can tear you down to the point where you're sleeping in a dingy hallway of a Washington State house, on the floor, pregnant, cold, and dejected?
Well, he masturbates in the other room and I can hear it.
On top of it all.
Yeah.
How does that happen? What is it? I mean, is he a master manipulator? Is he a predator? Is he a criminal? Is he how do you characterize this guy?
I was talking about this earlier today, and there's a reason that famous people are famous. They have a way of carrying themselves and moving themselves that people are drawn to.
Julia is a sex doll.
Unfortunately, I don't think he's really that talented. So he has a hard time keeping up his face. I especially know this having had talked to Sarah now myself, and the differences between who he was then and who he is now. He still pulls the same stuff, but he's extremely cold in comparison on a lot of things to when he was with me.
Which begs the question, what makes him this way? Was he abused as a kid?
Now, I want you to re-listen to exactly what Shiloh just said there. And I'm gonna rewind that. Right.
Now myself, and the differences between who he was then and who he is now. He still pulls the same stuff, but he's extremely cold in comparison on a lot of things to when he was with me.
Which begs,
he's more cold now than he was when he was with Shiloh, where I will remind you, he refused to take Shiloh to a hospital after suffering a seizure that could have had permanent memory loss. After she miscarried, after everything, forcing her to sleep outside of a room while he jacks off. And he's more cold now. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, hey, Iris. Right now we are about near the half to 75% mark through the Onision, the interview about Onision with Shiloh with Chris Hansen. So he's somehow more cold now than he was before. After all of this shit, that is baffling. That is baffling in a way that I seriously did not think was possible. I'm sorry, but when I think of the word cold, I think of somebody who after, their child, like they're essentially someone they're in a relationship with, miscarries their child. I'm not going to pay for their health care. Fuck it, they can go septic. I don't know how you get more cold than that. That's evil. That is fucking despicable. And somehow he's worse? Somehow he's worse now than he was then? I cannot imagine. I can't fucking fathom that. I made Kai drive herself to the hospital while she was in there second kid. Oh shit, I forgot about that. So I am fucking baffled by how worse someone can be after doing shit like that. That I'm horrified to find out. Your first kids, after hearing Shiloh's story, I'm withholding judgment of Kai until he has a chance to tell his story. Fear what goes on in their house. So scared for their kids. Kai is definitely guilty in different ways. They're both guilty of a lot. They really are. They're both awful, awful fucking people who will hopefully get what's coming to them. Isn't there leaks of Onion yelling at their kids? Yes, it was actually from one of Kai's videos. You can hear it in the background.
To the question, what makes him this way? Was he abused as a kid? Was he victimized in some way? Does he just have no conscience or soul? What's behind this?
He tried to explain to me that nobody ever really liked him, and he spent a lot of time by himself playing video games on his own and all of these things. He never really mentioned any sort of abuse. I met his mother, and his mother seemed to be a nice person.
Which, by the way, before anybody wants to go full Jack Thompson, as someone who has spent a majority of his life playing video games and was homeschooled his entire life, don't let me in with fucking Greg. That's all I ever ask. Just don't let me in with that prick.
Person.
How does he end up this way?
That's what I'm saying. I'm really not sure. He didn't grow up with a father, but I know a lot of people that have not grown up with fathers, and
Is your father on the scene, by the way?
Yes.
What does he make of all this?
When he was alive,
I'm sorry that he died.
that is okay. When he was around, he, for lack of a better term, wanted to put an end to it.
To the relationship or to Onision?
Greg, Onision, he wanted so very badly. When he came out and said, "Oh, Shiloh's sending the Canadian mafia after me," no, man, my dad and a couple of his boys really wanted to come down and screw with your life. And I mean, I can say that now that he's not around. Greg would not have been around if I had not stopped that.
Your dad was so upset at the way Greg Onision was treating you that he and his posse were going to come get him.
He was ready to go to jail for it.
Canadian justice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was raring and ready to go, and you put a stop to it.
Oh yeah, there was a time where I was at a rehearsal with Greg, and my father was there, and my father had taken him into the back room, and I had just come in as he said, "If you don't disappear, I'm gonna make you disappear." And Greg just said, "I guess I'm gonna have to die then." And I walked.
Now, I don't advocate for murder. I'm gonna say that really nicely because I've probably already pissed off YouTube and Susan Wojcicki for the first 45 minutes of this stream. I'm just gonna say this very nicely. It probably would have been so much better for everyone in the world if Canada had sought revenge, is all I'm gonna say. I'm not advocating for murder here. That needs to be known. I'm just saying that if Canadian justice has happened, everybody probably would have been better off in the long term. I'm not advocating for murder. Let's continue.
I didn't talk to my father for about a year after that.
Also, rest in peace, Shiloh's dad. You sounded like a fucking awesome man. Canadian justice.
You broke up with Greg Onision once. How long did you break up the first time?
I actually never broke up with him.
Okay, well, hang on, Cammy. I'm not advocating for murder. All I'm saying is pigs eat everything, including teeth. That's an interesting thing to remember.
Broke up with me?
He broke up with you?
Yeah.
And what reason did he give for that breakup?
First time when we broke up was July 2011. This was after being bald and having a seizure and all of that stuff. And the first reason was definitely the same as the last reason. He couldn't take my constant crying. He couldn't take how possessive I was over,
How possessive he was, and he's controlling?
I was apparently over him because I didn't want him to. I wanted him to want me, not a whole bunch of other women. And I didn't think that was that much to ask for. But he broke up with me in July, and then got a girlfriend right away. I found out over Facebook.
And how did he get you back, or how did you get back in that relationship with him after that?
He had called me one night, and I was already kind of on my way to forgetting about him.
You had moved to Canada from Washington State? Yeah.
My mom had come and picked me up because he had left me in a mental ward at that point.
So you're shot mentally at this point, wiped out. You go to a psychiatric facility, or a psychiatric facility in a medical facility, and your mom comes to get this shell of a young woman.
Yeah. I was
Takes you
bald.
back to Canada.
Yeah, I went there because he called the police on me for banging outside of his door and having enough of being locked out. And so they took me there. A lady gave me a voice and said she didn't feel right about the situation, so let me call my mom. My mom came and got me. I was out of their care. I was in British Columbia at the time when he got a new girlfriend, and shortly after breaking it off with her, I suppose, he called me crying, you know, like, I miss you. I made such a big mistake. I love you so much. I'm so
He loves you, but he ditches you in a psychiatric facility, and moments later, he's found another girlfriend from Facebook.
Right.
And now you're gone, and he wants you back.
Yeah. And so.
And you come back to this?
Yeah, I did. I went to, so during this time that he sent me to that mental facility, and I went home, he had taken himself to Los Angeles, and he was there. I thought...
Oh yeah, really quick, I'm going to respond to something Kaylee said here. How come someone shot Christina Grimmie and not Greg? Just asking a question, no malice. The Christina Grimmie thing, there is something horrifying with fame. Yeah, and it's horrifying how it's horrifying when it happens, but it's surprising that it doesn't happen more. But that's also because people have really good bodyguards, especially after that incident. But Christina's fate was so undeserved. She did amazing on The Voice. She had a good career on YouTube, and that was genuinely depressing. And could come to someone who was liked by everybody on YouTube. I hadn't seen anybody say a bad fucking word about Christina Grimmie before and after. And it always happens to, I'd say, the better celebrities whenever, like, one of them dies or something. The only exception could possibly be Vic Morrow with the Twilight Zone movie incident. But usually a lot of the better celebrities end up dying horribly, and most of the assholes stay. And yeah, Christina Grimmie, well, her death was both so senseless and so just fucked up. And I remember when that happened, because I never expected it. I heard on the news and I was like, is there two different Christina Grimmies? But yeah, that whole situation was fucked. No, genuinely, wasn't her killer stalker? Yep, it was a man who was obsessed with her. I think. I think he hadn't even messaged her or anything, or had implied anything, and she smiled, shook his hand, and he pulled out a gun and shot her. I believe her brother. Mind you, this is conjecture here because I don't remember the entire story off the top of my head. It's been about 4 years now. Fuck. I believe her brother jumped on top of the guy and started beating the shit out of him. But I think her brother got shot, or hang on. I'm gonna be genuinely, so if I don't actually hang on here. Shit, hang on. According to Orlando police, the bags of the attendees would normally have been checked. There are no metal detectors, nor were the attendees frisked. That is... Okay, he was tackled by Grimmie's brother and then scuffled. He broke free, backed against the wall, and shot himself in the head. Yep. Okay, so her brother didn't die, but yeah, that's really surprising for Florida. Say what you will about Florida. Florida is kind of a shithole. But from what I've heard, they had decent security at most venues, so that's disappointing that people weren't frisked. Especially nowadays. I mean, most people are probably worried that, like, oh, the food or drink that I snuck in is going to be found out. But I don't mind being frisked for a concert. That's yeah. The Christina Grimmie thing was really fun, especially because Christina just came from like doing The Voice about like a year or two beforehand, when ironically, a guy who I've actually met once because he was doing stuff around the time locally, Josh Kaufman, I believe, was the winner. The guy's really nice, by the way. I do recommend checking him out. Take it easy, Kaylee. Yeah, we need to finish up this part here.
Well, maybe he saw what it was like being with somebody else and realized how much he loved me, you know? And I was also kind of wanting to get out of the city that I was in, because I mean, I was just tagging along with some family, so it wasn't exactly somewhere that I wanted to be at the time. So as a young person, I wanted to get back out of my mom's house, you know, and so I did. And I went back down there, and within a couple days, he got me to pick out my own engagement ring. Paid for it. We made a video where I revealed the engagement ring.
But by the way, I also want to mention something about if like a day or two after a breakup you get engaged, that's putting a band-aid on an axe wound. That's only going to be even worse, because the next breakup is going to happen like a month or a week later. Don't do it. Seriously, I have seen too many people I know genuinely like, oh, we're broken up, and then, oh, we're getting married, and then it falls apart even worse. Don't do it. Male, female, anybody. Do not ever get engaged immediately after a breakup.
And continued the relationship and badmouthed the girlfriend that he had in between, which was not good.
Do you think all this is just one big storyline for him? Just a way to create drama to keep him relevant in the YouTube world?
I don't even know if he plans it, but he's not in reality. He lives in a place where none of this stuff is real and everything is some sort of long, convoluted skit.
So you go back to him, and how long does that last?
Not long, couple months.
I'm sorry, Mel. If you break up, you probably shouldn't get married, period. Just my opinion. I don't necessarily agree with that, because there's some people, like, they fight for a little bit and they eventually realize, oh, well, I actually like you more than, you know, just for fighting and shit. I've seen it work. It doesn't work for everybody. But immediately after she said he thinks his life's a skit thing, I thought of a quote from a Joker trailer. I have not seen the movie yet. I've been meaning to. Where he says, I thought my life was a tragedy, but now I realize it's a comedy. I immediately was like, oh no, Greg's going to do it in the wrong Joker makeup. I'm sorry for pausing. We're going to keep going. I'm sorry.
September, lost the cap of my water. September, he broke up with me again. And that was the final time after me getting pregnant. Me being pregnant. My timeline's right here. Yeah, I am.
So you leave.
With me, there's so much.
I know. It's listen, and by the way, this isn't the only time you and I'll talk about this on this show. You leave finally for good. What is the incident, if there was one, that makes you finally say, I'm out of here, I gotta go, there's more to life than this nonsense?
I didn't have one. It was actually my mom that saved me when I came back and I was pregnant and, well, with a past child. When I was in the hospital and going through labor and having to have all these things done, my mom took my passport.
Physically took it away from you.
She took it out of my bag, and I swear to gosh, I still remember looking in her eyes and going, do you know where my passport is? And she just, no, sweetie, no idea. And every time, you know, I had the opportunity to go get a passport, she'd make sure that I was stationary where I was, or that I couldn't get a ride, or whatever might happen. That she avoided the situation. Greg had even sent me money at the time to get a new passport. And
if your mother had not taken you out of this relationship, what would have happened to you?
I think I would have committed suicide in his house.
And for him, what would that have meant?
I don't know.
Another chapter on YouTube.
Yeah, my girlfriend committed suicide in my house.
So you leave.
The sad thing is, she's 100% right. He would have, God, he would have fucking vlogged the body. Logan Paul vlogging a dead body would have looked like Sesame Street. Imagine that. Well, like the Logan Paul video, it was bad. Yeah, I'll admit it was bad. As someone who's watched the video, it was fucking dumb. And genuinely, the fact that he even decided to, one, record that, two, upload that, and not expect a backlash, was baffling. But even that fucking video would have been tame compared to what Greg would have done. Greg would have probably danced with Shiloh's fucking corpse. Just... that's the most disappointing part. Is the fact that thinking he would have done that, he's not out of the realm of possibility. The uncensored version on page. Yeah, god damn it. I should be laughing at that, but the saddest thing is, Shiloh is 100% correct. He would have used the fact that she committed suicide as the biggest ad revenue check that he would have ever gotten. He would have milked that thing for fucking months straight. And with no self-awareness. Shiloh is completely correct. Maybe YouTube would have kicked him off if he made that video. Did YouTube kick Logan Paul off? This was around the time that Greg was the most popular. Like, straight up, the most popular in terms of growth and everything. They would have kept him on. Hell, it probably wouldn't have hit trending back in the time, but it would not have went down. That video would probably still be up on the channel today. It's disappointing that I could see it happening 100%. He was so broken, and I tried to save her is what he would have said, I'm sure. Yeah. Chris Watts. That name rings a bell. Hang on. Oh! Yeah, fuck, I've heard about that guy. I don't know if, like, Greg will do something like that. Just because I think that... I don't know. Murder's Frightened Life, $2 and lied about it. I don't know what would happen. I don't necessarily think he would he would kill his whole family. Oh, did it's on we? Okay, so I can tell you what you missed so far. The first 45 minutes of the stream was me essentially saying that YouTube in 10 years won't be anything like it has been, because they're pretty much... What's the word I'm looking for here? They pretty much are changing everything, and they even deleted Filthy Frank's vomit cake video. And I said that, because we're pretty much getting the stream once I finish this out. I think that YouTube is ending essentially the edge and the cringe era forcefully, and it's only a matter of time before they go after people like me, like Claw, a whole bunch of other people, and it's essentially just a matter of when, not if. And I think that's sad, and I described how I'm working on putting my content on other platforms like BitChute, which is pretty much the only, I guess you could say, major competitor to YouTube. And then for the last hour 15, we've been talking about Onision and the whole shit show that has been everything that's came out from this. And we're not even finished with this yet. He's uploading on Pornhub too. I am not uploading on Pornhub. Anybody with that name? Not me. That's a quick recap of everything that's happened so far. Vomit Cake has been down for over 20 hours. So I just want you to think about that. I'm not on Pornhub. I am not on Pornhub. You say that now. This is a book review. That's at the end. We're going to read the second chapter at the end of the stream. I haven't done a book review of Greg's books yet, but that's coming probably by the end of this month. If not, that might be a Christmas Day surprise. So just buckle up. The next video, currently what I'm working on, is about Real Stream News and how shit his content is. So we're gonna continue here.
Steve, you're gone. Are you ever tempted to go back after this point?
I met somebody actually, and I just want to say quickly that being in an abusive situation like this, for me, for Billy, for even Sky, even though she was his first wife and she wasn't victimized per se, she dealt with his shit. She knew exactly what it was like to deal with somebody like that.
Do you talk to Sky today? Are you in contact with her at all?
Inadvertently, yes. We bow our heads when we pass, type of thing, but we don't have conversations. But there is a very, very strong mutual respect there.
So you leave, you meet somebody else. This is a healthy relationship, I take it.
Sorry, what I was going to say is that being in an abusive situation like this, you really do think that love is real. But as soon as your mind gets distracted, it's nothing.
You snap out of it.
Yeah, you really do. And you start to see things pretty clearly, pretty quickly.
Did he try to get you to go back to them, Greg or Onision?
Oh, for a long time. But as soon as he found out that I was with somebody else, he did all sorts of stuff. He would call me multiple times a day just to play his videos, the audio of his videos over the phone. Email me constantly, calling me.
But by the way, just imagine how pathetic you have to be, or desperate you have to be to get somebody to watch your videos, that you play them over the phone into somebody's fucking voicemail. That is pathetic. That is desperation. That's desperation. It's pretty much the only word I can think of for that. It's desperate.
a cheater.
A liar and cheater.
Yeah. When
Hang on, that's Fuzz's new method. Well, it's not for your videos though, is it, Mystic? And also, none of them are probably your exes. Alex, what's your new method? It's not. It's not my method, although it'd probably get to my subscribers faster than YouTube's notification system. Cough. Sorry, I had a random cough there. I don't know what happened.
Because you got out of that abusive relationship and got into a healthy one. You were a liar and a cheater.
Yeah, but also when I got back to Canada, 3 days after I got there, just before I went into the hospital, he broke up with me. So we were not together when I met this new person. He had already let me go in his eyes. So I let go too.
What did he take from you?
Dignity. Not dignity that I haven't gotten back, but dignity, relationships. It's been very hard to make friends and have them not Google your name and see all of that shit and then have a whole bunch of questions as to, well, what kind of person are you? And it ruined relationships, friendships.
Did people look at you for a while and say you were damaged goods?
Yeah. Actually, it's really shocking that you say that because I had an ex-boyfriend.
I mean, I don't mean to say it like it's reality, but to me, some people are
I'm gonna answer a couple questions here. I'm confused why exactly he was trying to get him on Judge Judy. Does anybody know? Because he's delusional and thinks that Judge Judy is like the Supreme Court. And I like watching Judge Judy, don't get me wrong, I do. But I hate to say it like this, and I hate to break somebody's illusion with the show, but they pay both people to come on the show. And honestly, the verdicts are usually kind of bullshit. And if you really look into it, they pretty much get everything scripted by the end. I like Judge Judy, but it's kind of scripted. It's still fun though, and Judith Shineland has some goddamn great retorts. Do you feel personally victimized by your chat when we make fun of you? I like it. It's quite nice. So there isn't even actual dispute. There usually is, but it's settled before. It's either settled before it airs, and they have them go through dispute on the show. Just kind of like, because obviously the stuff doesn't. It takes a long time to get it to a normal trial. It takes a very long time to go through, so it's usually either like they plan out the events to where they know exactly if they're gonna hit, or they have a trial beforehand, and then the trial you see on TV is essentially them going back through the motions until they get essentially the winner. It's disappointing, but it's still an entertaining show just because some of the fucking people they get on there. It's not old school Jerry Springer level scripted. Like when they couldn't get anything, they'd actually script people. But it's somewhat scripted. I mean, he was also trying to get the Amazing Atheist on the Steve Wilkos show. Well, because they know he'll get paid if he goes on any of those shows. It's embarrassing, and I'm sorry, but god damn, Greg.
I was even seen like that in the music industry. People did not work with me as much. I was seen as very crazy. Because every meltdown I had in my teenage years that was, memorable, that I look back and think, wow, that was really something I'll never forget, was recorded and was put up. And so people got to see the side that everybody else keeps away from everybody, and they cry alone in their bathroom or something like that. It was all publicized.
Do you still get flashbacks?
Yeah. It's when I thought what flashbacks might be like, I didn't expect it because I've only recently really come to terms with what's happened and how it's affected my life and my ability to control my emotions. I'm a very anxious person now. I'm very scared to even be seen or go outside or, it really took me back to a place where I couldn't deal with anything. Like I still have moments where I'm just crying and shaking and sitting, and my boyfriend has to use all of his resources to try to bring me back to a safe place where I don't feel like I'm being victimized in some sort of way.
When was the last time Greg Onision reached out to you? When was the last time you actually spoke or you heard from him?
I believe that he has tried to reach out to me in the last couple of years, but that was something I only heard about, and I don't have any of those accounts anymore. So I would say the end of 2012, 2013.
Shiloh, I'm watching the comments come across here, and they echo in many ways how I feel right now, which is I'm brokenhearted for you. I've got kids, and to see somebody's teenage years stolen from them in a way, when it's challenging enough to live your life in the spotlight of a performing career, it just is, there's no better way to put it than heartbreaking. But it wants me to ask you, that feeling wants me to ask you, what advice do you give to every 16, 17, 18-year-old girl out there who is on social media, who is on YouTube, who is on all these different platforms, exposed to guys like Onision and Greg? What do you tell girls that age? What does 26-year-old Shiloh tell 16, 17, 18-year-old Shiloh?
Trust your friends, trust your parents, trust those people that are telling you, I don't know if that's a good situation. Really be careful and mindful. We are living in a time where you can research anything you want on the internet, anything at all. Don't get involved off of those feel-good feelings that somebody is giving you. Whether they're a, online predator or not. When just because somebody is being nice to you and wooing you and making you feel good about yourself and all of these things, you really genuinely need to get to know somebody for real and for a long time and know your support systems. If you're not so sure yourself, ask somebody. And obviously don't go trampling into places that you shouldn't go. I see a lot of girls talking to, one of them being a family member of mine that is talking to a guy overseas that she's never seen on cam or anything like this. And I'm like, man, I guarantee you he's not 17 like you. Like, you be careful, and we have the resources to tell us that these things happen.
And listen, I'm never going to engage in victim blaming or anything like that. You did nothing wrong here, but
it definitely isn't. It definitely isn't your fault, or anybody's fault for being victimized by somebody like this.
And I think that's important for young women to know, first and foremost. But I guess the other question that is burning here is, what do you do to stop a guy like this, specifically Greg Onision, from doing this to another young woman?
don't ever let anything stop you from that gut feeling you have that I'm not being treated right now. This is not how things are supposed to be. That little voice in you that says, hey, you know, Shiloh, he's not treating you right. You're crying all the time. This isn't right. That's your way out, and it will always be your way out. Your inner voice will tell you everything. Trust your gut, like your real gut, not the you know, nice feelings that might be sitting on top, but that feeling that makes you feel uncomfortable. I mean, if you're crying about this guy, you know,
All done.
no matter his age, drop it.
Shiloh today. You dropped a new song within the last week or so. Where are you at with your career? Where are you at in your own head? Where are you at in your soul?
I'm ready. I've never been more ready. I have turned around all of my control, you know, I have control over my career now, and my, you know, everything in my life has gotten to a point where I am the leader of my own journey, and I'm ready to embark on not just my musical journey, but in having a platform to talk about stuff like this. And hopefully helping other young girls and other women that have been in the same situation, or to either stop them from being in that situation, or help stop them from being in that situation, or help them feel like they're not alone if they've already been through it.
And if you could say anything to Onision, to Greg tonight, right now, right here, what do you say?
Get help. Get help. You're a very, very sociopathic, narcissistic human being. And somewhere, if it's even just a little glimmer that you think that you are wrong, you need to get help. I have no love for you at all, but I believe that everybody is a person, and as horrible as a person as you are, you need to be put into some sort of space.
Now, I want to slow things really fast before we go into the last part of the video, because I saw something on Twitter just a second ago that relates to our first topic, and I actually don't want to forget about this, and I'm so sorry. And I believe me, usually I would not interrupt like one thing to go back to another topic, but fuck, I kind of have to with this. So, well, like I said earlier, our first topic of the stream was YouTube fucking with monetization. And this is something that was found in their terms of service by a user at Rage Golden Eagle, and this is not good. So this is in the UK, the UK terms currently, but apparently will be coming to the US on December 10th. Terminations by YouTube for service changes. YouTube may terminate your access or your Google's account's access to all or part of the service if YouTube reasonably believes that its provision of the service to you is no longer commercially viable. I want you to listen to that again, because when I read that, I was like, you're fucking kidding. YouTube may terminate your access or your account's access to all or part of the service if YouTube reasonably believes that its provision of the service to you is no longer commercially viable. The moment you stop making money for YouTube, fuck you. I wish I was kidding. That is something coming to YouTube soon. We're fucked. We are fucked. Essentially, fuck, for even talking about this now on YouTube, which if I get banned for this, it's my fault. Essentially, what YouTube is saying here is the moment you stop doing something they like, essentially, fuck you, our rules change. Or better yet, here's a better idea. The moment we stop agreeing with you, or the moment we stop hearing what we want to hear from you, you're boned. Oh, you had a channel? Nice channel. It's fucking gone now. This is... You know, I don't have anything to compare this to. This is fucked. We are fucked. As someone who's a content creator, I don't know how to respond to this. Like, my videos are mostly demonetized, so, like, I don't get shit for a lot of them. And now, because maybe I have an opinion on something that... What? I feel bad for creators who are doing political stuff, or who are doing edgier stuff. So I'll see on Pornhub. All I'm saying is, I think now is a good idea to just start uploading everything to BitTube, or BitChute, and really, really hope my channel doesn't get banned. I'm sorry, and I really did not want to deviate from the Shiloh stuff once I got on it. But, BitChute is the name of the website. There's a lot of people on all sides of the political spectrum who uploaded there because they got banned from YouTube. Is there an app for it? I genuinely don't know. Hang on. Oh yeah, there is a BitChute app. It's just really buggy and kind of clunky. I'm probably gonna make a video on doing stuff on BitChute too. So I'll hold off on subscribing until I do that. Why is Greg still there? He doesn't make shit. Well, YouTube, their rules are weird. They are, and this is fucking disappointing. Let's make a new video platform and get it crowdfunded. The problem is, it's really, really hard to make a new video platform because of how many servers you need and everything. Google got lucky with them getting bought by... Well, not Google getting lucky. YouTube got lucky by Google buying them. It's just it's demotivating, is what it is. Make your own site, FuzzTube. I might... Yeah, hey, Squarespace. My phone is always open. I'll make a whole damn website. That is a good jinx. But no, if Squarespace wants to sponsor me, I will gladly take the opportunity to do that. I might make a website, kind of like how Monkey Jones has his own website where all of his content is now. So if you have Firefox's script you can run, it stops Google from figuring out you're blocking their ads. That's pretty awesome, actually. I'll admit I use Brave, which is a Chromium based browser which has an ad blocking fork. So you can block ads from Brave. I don't have a sponsorship of Brave, I just like their app. Now back to this, because I want to finish it up because I gotta go to bed for work tomorrow soon, so...
That doesn't allow you to speak to young women. And whatever that space may be, whether it be a physical space or a mental space, he needs serious help.
So we didn't talk about this before you appeared here, and if you don't want to get into it, I'll understand, but I just moments ago received an email from Greg from Onision. Can I share it with you and have you respond?
Yeah, you can.
You okay with that?
Oh, absolutely. I've heard
it wasn't part of the deal going in, so if you're not, I get it.
Oh no, I've had 10 years to sit with this one, and I'm not scared of anything he can say.
So he's watching right now, apparently. We went to him in the very beginning of our reporting on him, and we offered him an opportunity to appear on the show, and he said he would do so, but he wanted $350,000.
But by the way, really quick here, I just posted the link to the BitChute channel. It does not have everything uploaded, and I need to take the time, probably Sunday, if I'm being honest. I'm going to take the time and re-upload everything to there. But there's the link directly to the channel for BitChute. So if you guys want, that's there. I'm planning on probably uploading, you probably uploading everything, hopefully Sunday, if not later. Probably also going to go through with old streams and upload the VODs to there as well. Or I might start like a second BitChute channel just for like the stream VODs. There's a rumor they're actually going to start supporting streaming on there soon. So that's there if you guys want to go to it. There's not much there right now, but there will be soon. So Hey, Michelle.
Said we should be careful about what people on our show say about him because we might sue our shoe, meaning show, presumably. We explained to him that we don't pay for interviews. We didn't pay you. We don't pay anybody else. Didn't pay Blair White or Repzion or anybody else. So here's his email. A couple of things. One, I was informed you're having Shiloh on your show. I guess right now. I don't know. I don't actually keep up with you guys. I just go off messages on Patreon like this. Anyway, you guys.
I love how the whole, oh, hey, I heard you guys were having this person who I have had an intimate relationship with. I don't watch your stuff, though. I don't watch it, guys. But I heard, I heard it from Grapevine. Jesus fuck.
I should watch this video. It involves the last thing Shiloh said about me before I cut ties. I cut ties. She had gotten pregnant with another person's baby while still in a relationship with me.
I wasn't in a relationship with him, but I did get pregnant. Shortly after my DNC, it was very easy to get pregnant. So the first person I had sex with, I got pregnant.
You have multiple.
Oh, yeah. The email he sent, Jacqueline, Blair, and Daniel. That one was related to Sarah, and that one was a whole fucking mess. I watched the Jacqueline and Blair White video, and it was pretty good. It was funny as hell too.
People who have repeatedly publicly lied, been caught for it on your show. At this point, it's pretty clear you are not concerned with journalistic integrity and really just like getting video views.
Well, which another thing I want to point out with this comment, Greg. Chris Hansen has a goddamn Emmy for journalistic integrity. And the amount of journalistic things he's done over the years is, one, expansive, and two, probably actually bigger than your fucking video count between all your goddamn channels. There's no way in hell that you can compare Chris Hansen getting 51,000 views to all of the shit over his career. I know that Greg tried to pull up the fact that he had written bad checks in the past, which, he's human. But there's a difference between writing bad checks, which it's a crime, but it's not anywhere near all of the things he's reported on, and he was exonerated for it. He did not go to trial for that, and he is in the clear for that. Greg's a goddamn moron is what he is, but...
Is he talking about himself?
He's talking about me, talking about him.
I mean, He clearly doesn't watch.
That aside, the reason I'm writing is apparently you indicated that you would have me talking more about it or going on your show. Whatever your message was there, it's a dead end. Okay, so what I was referring to here is in a message I put out on social media earlier today. I said we were going to have you on, and I said,
Okay, really quick here. I actually had to pull this up. Hansen has received 8 Emmy Awards, 4 Edward R. Murrow Awards, 3 Clarion Awards, the Overseas Press Club Award, an IRE, the National Press Club Award, the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists Award, as well as awards for excellence from both the Associated Press and the United Press General, all of whom are more respected, reputable, and genuine compared to some pedophile tweeting in his basement while playing League of Legends in the year 2019. By the way, really quickly here, because I have to rant about this. do people still play League of Legends who aren't either getting paid for it or are Greg? I'm sorry, Mystic. I'm sorry. Okay. The way I'll say it is, every single person I knew that used to play League jumped to Dota the moment Dota 2 came out, and I seriously thought like League of Legends went under until Greg started talking about it. I had not honestly thought about League of Legends until all this shit, and I'm sorry. Professional Tommy Wiseau impersonator. Hey, what's happened so far? Oh, okay. I'll give a quick rundown because we're about to end the stream soon, actually. The first 45 minutes was me talking about how YouTube's fucked now, and then the rest has been me talking about the Shiloh interview, with a little bit of an exception to where I was talking about, again, how YouTube is fucked because of the new terms of service. Oh, and also my BitChute channel, because I'm going to upload pretty much everything there as well as YouTube. Unless YouTube fucks me, then everything will go there. Anyways, sorry about the quick recap. We're going to finish this out here.
The latest from Onision himself, which I was referring to an email he had sent earlier with a video clip of Sarah, who appeared last week. And in that, Sarah says, and I don't know the context of the video, we reach out to Sarah to clarify, but Sarah says,
what's the question, Chris?
He posted on his social media that she never had underage sex with either Greg or Kai, which we never said, nor did Sarah. The whole point of this was that he's apparently so careful about watching girls' ages that he doesn't break the law, as you so articulately and emotionally pointed out earlier. He wanted to make sure he researched the laws in Pennsylvania before this all went down, and that you're okay. So he's saying that we're making allegations that we didn't make.
Oh, well.
And you go on and say, let me read this, and you can respond.
Nobody said anything.
You actually get your facts straight before broadcasting. Well, that's not journalism. That's you being just another tabloid. What happened to Chris? What happened to integrity? This from Onision?
By the way, that whole reaction from both of them is perfect. Fuck, marry, kill Amberlynn Reed with Wisconsin, and it's ma'am. Here's the answer. I'd rather suck on a bullet. I'd fuck myself, I'd marry myself, and I'd kill myself. I'm sorry, Chris. There's no winning on that one. There's literally no winning on that one, Chris. Or Chris Ray, I should say. Chris Ray. Not Chris Hansen.
This from a guy who's still on YouTube?
That's the biggest
a platform that has sanctioned me and so many others for using words that pop up in some sort of algorithm? Make sense to you?
I mean, I don't know if you can see the smoke coming out of my ears, but up here, everything is Those gears are grinding. I've never been able to understand how whatever kind of dreamland he's living in. Because he speaks on subjects that he doesn't know anything about, in a way that he feels is intelligent. And it really just continuously makes him look like an idiot, for lack of a better term. And it's so in view. Every single thing that he has done is documented.
One last paragraph here.
Oh boy.
Blair White, Repsian, and Sarah, all shows based around Sarah, proven a total farce. It is your duty to establish this fact. What fact? What world is he living in here? Who does he think he's dealing with?
I mean,
again, we've offered him to come on the show. I'll have him on next week.
When him and I broke up,
That's awesome, Mystic.
the last time, he had tried to get us on Judge Judy. Judge Judy. He tried to get us on Judge Judy, and they declined it because I was a Canadian citizen. But that's just to show how much of a big joke this is to him. I was in Canada having an emergency DNC of his past baby, and he was busy trying to get us on Judge Judy.
Let that sink in. While Shiloh was dealing with a definite emotional trauma, because I know a few people that had a miscarriage, and from what I've heard, you don't come out of that unscathed. You genuinely deal with that shit for the rest of your fucking life. And Greg was desperately trying to get in contact with the Judge Judy people. Imagine that. I have no fucking words. Man.
For it.
All right, Shiloh, listen.
Big sigh.
I can't thank you enough for being with me tonight, going through this. I hope we'll continue the dialogue and you have the energy to do it. I want to tell you that every comment, without exception, has been supportive of you, applauds you for your bravery, applauds you for standing up and speaking your mind about this, your survival, and a lot of well-wishers hoping that your career really continues to be strong and that your creative spirit lives on. And let me tell you one other thing. Not a single comment I've seen in support of Greg Onision tonight.
Well, that says a lot. It says, and I want to say thank you. And also that everybody that has been supportive through all of this, thank you so much. Also, who hasn't, if anybody hasn't, direct your support towards Sarah. And I know that this is coming off of my own story, but this is fresh for her. And everybody has to remember that this is very fresh for her. I've spent 10 years thinking about this. I've come to terms with it, but I've seen some hate towards Sarah, that not in these comments, but support her. She is the most recent victim of this horrible, horrible person. And not that you all haven't been, but go in on that one. Protect Sarah and deplatform predators, man. Where I can't believe he emailed you.
Yeah, tonight.
Well, look at that. Thank you, Chris. Really.
Thank you, dear, for being on. I appreciate it very much. You have a wonderful night. We'll stay in touch. I'll follow up with you.
Okay, I'm gonna end that here. I think that every, like, Chris Hansen is seeing exactly what everybody is seeing, and it's becoming more and more widespread. Everything that Greg has done, and Aaron said, "Do you think that Greg will eventually have a seat with Chris?" I think yes, and the best way I can say it is, it is only a matter of time before Greg's his empire of dirt essentially crumbles in on himself. And right now, especially more than ever, it feels closer. It is only a matter of time, either whether it be through YouTube's new horribly fucked up terms of service, or whether it be from his own fuck ups. It feels closer than ever. Like, yeah, ever. I can speak English. Feels closer than ever. And I think, to make a long explanation short, you're seeing it in real time. You know, everybody expected Greg to do essentially his channel just to die, and it is dying. Don't get me wrong on it, but this is gasoline, diesel, and fucking lighter fluid poured on top of a channel, and Greg is lighting the match and burning his own goddamn channel to the ground. And I am sad that it didn't happen sooner. I'm sad that it didn't happen with the original Shiloh videos, because it should have. The one with the seizure, and the one where he records her while she's essentially saying that I'm gonna take you down. That should have been what killed his channel almost a decade ago. And it's sad that it took so long, but in a way, it needed, I feel, to eventually build up over time to the point that it has now. It's insane. And once YouTube take down his channel, it's only providing a platform for more young women. People have been bringing awareness to him, but won't stop him. It's infuriating. I think it is only a matter of time. Now, I'm gonna wrap up the stream a bit here. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna link to the BitChute. If you want also to join the Discord, I should probably move the chat to where it can actually be seen. Hey, there we go. If you do want to join the Discord, the Smutfic. It's getting a little too late. However, I will read it at the beginning of tomorrow's stream. Because tomorrow around, I'm still deciding if it's 4:30 or 5 p.m. But I'm going to start playing Death Stranding live on stream. And it'll be streamed both here and on Twitch. And I have to go download Restream because I don't know how the fuck to use that. However, East Coast I am, so yes, it is EST. So yeah, 4 to 5:30 p.m. EST. I will put a tweet out and I'll post on a Discord. Because obviously I have to install Death Stranding. I bought the retail version because I wanted the collector's edition really bad. To which I will say this. Ad revenue actually bought me the collector's edition. So that should tell you I'm doing moderately decent on YouTube. But yeah, it's 9:48. I gotta be at work at 3 a.m. So if you guys have any questions or anything, I'll answer them as we wrap up. How's work? It has been hectic. I've been walking a lot. I think, shit. Let me look here. Is it YouTube Fit? Or, yeah. Thought I had an early morning. Yeah, today I walked 12,000 steps. Yeah, today, yesterday, I walked a fuck ton yesterday. What's my new work? I'm working at a factory. Essentially, I'm stocking parts for cars. If you buy a Toyota car, in the next year or two, I've probably touched a part in your car. Thanks for keeping on Onision's ass and let him quietly scuttle away. Hey, I think we all should hold him to the fire, roast him like a goddamn marshmallow. Nice listening to you. Have a nice sleep. I will. At least you have your 4th subscriber on BitChute. Well, hey, I'm gonna post. Touch my car. Ooh, oh god, and his ass. I'm hopefully going to Sunday. I'm gonna take some time out and just re-upload a ton of stuff to BitChute. And going forward, I think every video is going to be on BitChute the same day or two as they go up on YouTube. Also, I should announce, I do have a channel memberships down below, and it works kind of just like Patreon. So if you want to give me money through YouTube instead of dealing with Patreon, that's there. You get the same benefits, which is like the special colors in the Discord, the early access to videos, and I'm gonna try to get the what is it? The commentary award as well. I need you to find porn. And you find your Pornhub Papa Fuzz. I don't have a Pornhub page. It'd be boring. I don't go on Pornhub. But yeah, I'm working on getting everything there as well. That way, if YouTube's new guidelines fuck around with me a little too much, I'm not completely dead from the internet. So, which it's incredibly sad that I have to think like that and think ahead of something like that. So I don't know. I'm disappointed by that. You're good for Pornhub. Too good for Pornhub. I'm not. It's not that I'm too good for Pornhub. It's just I don't go there. But with this, I want to know how do you pronounce Fuzu? There's like 3 different ways. You can say Fu Chao, like the Chinese pronunciation, but I do a sort of essentially a westernized version, which is like Fuzu or Fuzzhao. You can do either or. Then it's fine. I'm too X Hamster. I remember RedTube being popular back when I went on those sites. I think it was RedTube. But no, your boy doesn't do too much of that. Speaking of RedTube. RedTube might be more advertiser friendly than YouTube. Oh no. No one believes. Oh. Could you possibly verbally dab? I mean, dab. That hurt. I was sleeping last night. Anyways, I'm heading out now for the night properly. So have a good one, everybody. I will see y'all tomorrow with Death Stranding. I am actually really fucking excited for that game. Have a good night, everybody. Oh, thank you, Mr. End. I'm glad you appreciate it. Anyways, good night.